Hey, what's up, champions, and welcome to Growth Mode. This podcast is for that business owner who set out to create a badass business, but ended up creating a job for yourself. I'm your host, Donnie Boivin, and I've spent over 20 years in the straight commission sales game. I've broken a lot of shit trying to figure out how to get better in sales and how to run a business. You know, hanging out with me is my buddy Comin Soon, and he is a sales and tactician automation badass. This dude has spent years in the tech sales game before he partnered up with me figuring out how we would change the world. So Growth Mode, it's about real world tips, funny anecdotes, and you get to listen to Kevin and I debate a lot of shit as an introvert and an extrovert. Go at it. Kevin, what the fuck are we talking about today?
Hey, everyone. Hey, Donnie. So today we're going to talk about something that I'm not overly always good at. We're going to talk about how to trust your gut in business.
Why are you not good at it?
You were supposed to pause.
Greg, leave that funny shit in there. So we're still figuring out how to do the right way on this fucking podcast. So that was funny. You're supposed to pause.
You were supposed to stop talking. I know this is hard for you sometimes.
Fuck me. But that's a real question. And I think that's why I hit so quick is why is it hard to trust your gut?
So especially for people who are on the more detail-oriented side, they're strategic in how they think. We like to analyze things and figure out, all right, so here's what could happen. If that happens, here's what we're going to do. In the military, that was called branches and sequels, and we talk about that with a lot of my clients, but it can become too much.
And it is too much.
And you can get into this whole analysis paralysis thing where you can't even make a decision. So How do you learn how to trust your gut and just make a decision based on feeling as opposed to evidence?
So let me ask you, when you go to a restaurant and you sit down to order, how long does it take you to order something on the menu?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yeah. I'm actually really fucking curious.
So it depends. If it's a restaurant I've been to before, it's usually I order the exact same thing every time.
And if it's a restaurant, one you've never been to,
then I pretty much read the whole thing.
Yeah, then that's your fucking problem. So here's the thing. So the people who completely win in life, I think, have two key things that they're really fucking good at. One, they're willing to take massive fucking risks. Two, they will make the fastest decisions in the world. Now, those people cannot do those successfully without some badasses behind them to pick up the fucking pieces. Because guys like me cause complete fucking chaos, right? I get it. I am a bull in a china shop, and when I get an idea, I'm like, we're just going to go this fucking direction. And then we'll pick up the pieces. Because if I start thinking, I'm going to second guess. For me, I've just learned to go with it. It's the right move, pull the trigger.
So I had the advantage that a lot of people haven't had is I went through military officer training where the only purpose of the training is to teach you to make a decision, any decision. They don't care, just decide something, please. So I've been able to overcome the whole idea of I think
you need to go back to that training again.
I still can do it. Don't worry. I still do it on a regular basis. But for a lot of people, they don't have that. They've never been put under the pressure where you just need to make a decision, any decision. We don't care if it's wrong. Just pick something. And that is really puts a lot of people into an uncomfortable position because I think the issue for a lot of them is what if it is wrong? What if I do make the wrong choice?
You know what? Good. And what I mean is if it's a wrong choice, I promise you're fixing to learn something. One thing you're fixing to learn is that was the wrong fucking way to do it. I mean? So, back when I did sales training, and we would talk about this, is the way you sell is the way you buy. So what I mean is if you're an overthinker that makes 500 decisions and weighs every angle before you buy something, you expect everybody you try and sell to buy the same exact way.
Yep.
Right. And if you try and sell to me with all the bells and whistles and take me through all the ins and outs and how it's going to work and all the whiz bangs and everything else, I'm going to shut the damn call down. And we're going to walk, because Kevin sat in on a sales call one time, and this dude, he was trying to take me through the history of his company and everything else. And I'm like, dude, can we just get to the end already? So, but the way we would get people to change how they made decisions and how they sold was we would take them to lunch. And I would take them to a lunch, and preferably a cuisine they've never fucking had in their life. And the reason we would do that is I was going to show them how quick they could make a decision. So I would take that individual. They would have to be the last person to order. And up until that point they can order, they were not allowed to open up the menu. So that menu sat there on the fucking table in front of them, right? And you could see it, and their legs would start bouncing because they were getting all jittery. They'd start tapping their pencil or something on the freaking top. And I'm like, yeah, look, you cannot order anything you've ever had before. You can't order anything off the special. When the waitress asks you what you need to eat, you literally have 20 seconds. You open the menu and you order, and it cannot be something you've ever had before. And you will watch. I have had people almost break down in fucking tears as I take them to the profits, because they're like, I don't know. I'm like, fuck it, pick something. 9 times out of 10, that meal ended up being something that was just extraordinary for them, because they just never practiced getting out of that comfort zone of making a decision.
Oh, and that's the whole thing with the training I went through. It's all just do it. Just make a decision. If you make the wrong decision, we're not going to yell at you. If you make the right decision, we're not going to yell at you. If you don't make a decision, we're going to crush you.
Well, and yeah, absolutely, right? Most time, the decisions people are going to make in small business
are going to be wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're 100% going to be wrong, right? But but it's not going to destroy your company. It's not going to put you out of business.
You had a post on Facebook this morning that I saw, and I'm like, all right, this we're going to work this into the show for sure. You are going to succeed far less than you ever fail.
Yeah. No, backwards. You're going to fail more than you succeed.
No. Well, the same thing, just different orders. You're going to succeed less than you'll ever fail.
Okay. I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, you'll succeed less than you'll ever fail. So, I think that's important for people, because people don't like being told no. They don't like failing. That the whole idea scares them, because that's how we were conditioned as little kids. You have to succeed. You have to get straight A's. You have to be a varsity letter winner on the baseball team. You have to be you have to win this contest.
Right.
Ever since we're little kids, that's what it is. So now the whole idea that it's okay to fail is shocking for people, and getting them to just trust what they feel is really difficult as well. Now you're bringing in some emotion.
Right. Well, I think you're at it. I mean, I don't want to get into the nurture nature conversation, because that's just a debate like a motherfucker. But most things are learned, right? Over time, through discipline, through doing things, you're going to learn it. So if you suck at trusting your gut and just making a decision, because for me, when we're talking about trusting your gut, that's really what we're talking about, is just making a fucking decision, right? To go a direction. Is find yourself in situations where you've got to make a bunch of decisions over a shorter period of time, so you can learn that muscle memory of what it feels like to say, yes, let's do this. And here's the thing. There's really no such thing as a bad decision. And what I mean by that is you're going to fucking learn something. You're going to learn, wow, that was the absolute right way to do that. but you're going to learn like I do on a regular basis. Well, wow, that was a really fucking stupid decision. We should have never tried that, you know.
That didn't work out anywhere near how we thought it would. So I have a question for you. Are there times in business that you shouldn't trust your gut? You should actually go through the analyzing process.
I think when a purchase is going to be a percentage of your overall revenue, like if it's going to be a massive purchase inside of your company, yeah, take some time. I think you also need to think about, are you an expert in that field, and do you have somebody on your team that is? So like if it comes to technology, dude, I love the warm and fuzzy feeling. Somebody can sit across from me and they go, it goes from here, it does this thing, and boom, you're done. In my head, I'm like, fuck, let's do it. That's awesome. And then I go, wait, Kevin, go look at this fucking thing. And then Kevin's going to dive in, and I know he's going to rip the thing apart and go, okay, here's the plus, here's the minuses. So I've learned from me that, especially like in technology, I can't just go with my gut. We actually have to go through some sort of process and system. But making the decision that we need to find a new technology, that is something I can do all day long. Like, all right, fucker, this shit ain't working. We need to go a different direction, find something else that will work and move us forward. And then I can turn that process over to, Kevin or somebody else on the team and say, okay, let's go find options. And then let them go do what they're really good at. And then I don't bog down the whole process, because if you're making a lot of decisions about something you know absolutely nothing about, there is a learning process to it. But there's also, you need to learn to trust the relationship you have with others so they can help you make a better decision. Now, if they come back and they present you 3 or 4 fucking ideas, you better pull the trigger on one quickly and let's make a decision. And guys, no is okay. Right? It's okay to say, hey, we're not going to do any of these. I don't fucking like any of these options.
I've never had a commander tell me that. Awesome, Snow. Great options, but here's what we're gonna do instead. Oh, son of a bitch!
Then why the fuck did I just do all this work?
Damn it!
But I think that's the thing, is you got to know your lane. If it comes to people, personnel, sales, marketing, really easy for me to step in. Okay, cool. Let's go this fucking direction.
Go
ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just thinking what I just said just kind of spurred something else in my thought process. You bring in the experts to do the analysis and come and give you some options and say, hey, sir, here's what's working. Here's why we need to do it this way. But the commanders I've worked for all were doing analysis on their own too.
Yeah.
They were looking at stuff and putting together their own plan at the same time. And I think it's really key, even if you're going to have someone who is much more into that thing like technology, come bring you options, say, hey, here's what we should do. You can't delegate it all just off. It's not just like, whoof, gone. Kevin's doing it. I don't have to look at shit at all. You still need to be somewhat educated on the decision you're about to make.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a lot of what I did early on in building the business was, I didn't know shit about Facebook and how to do business on there. So I had to go learn it. Right. I didn't know shit about, podcasting, videos and everything. So I had to go learn it enough that when somebody sat across me and goes, hey, we can do this for you, we can do that for you, that I had enough information that I can make a real decision. Right. I did not need to be the expert in that field, but it's like, Kevin and I are looking at some software for the Badass Business Summit, which we'll be doing later this year, and we're looking at different things. Well, we've both used one program which we used last year for the summit. And now we're looking at these other programs, and it's a lot easier looking at some of these other programs and go, okay, cool, we like this fucking feature. Well, we won't use that at all, because we have experience in that at the moment. So it's a huge play in all this, that having knowledge and doing your own research, even if you're working with somebody else, at Kevin's point, is a powerful way to be able to make decisions. Just don't geek out on it, because I know there's times I've having Kevin some different technologies, and a week later, he's come back and goes, oh, and it can do this, and it can do this, and it can do this. And the dude's just totally dove into the fucking thing. And now he's like a master of it. I'm like, well, that's one way to do it, you know? You know? So I think the biggest takeaways for you guys to think about is there's really no right or wrong way to make a decision. There's only the ability to learn in making decisions. So what I want you guys to really start thinking about, some kind of tactical takeaways, is how are you making decisions? If you're comfortable in it, like Kevin said, if I go to a restaurant I've been before, I'll probably get what I've had, you know, in the past. That's really easy to do. If it's something new and you find yourself in analysis paralysis, make a call. Whatever it is, make a call, make a decision to move forward, and just know you're going to learn with that process. So guys, if you got any value out of the show whatsoever, of one tip, one nugget that can help you on your journey, do us a favor and teach somebody else how to subscribe to this show. We love ratings and reviews, but subscriptions mean everything in this game. So teach one other person how to sign in on whatever platform they listen to podcast on. And thanks as always for hanging us out with us on Growth Mode. And go be a fucking badass, would you?